really getting into the nitty-gritty here. We're really digging deep.
Okay.
We're discussing the ins and outs of the hunter role.
Wow.
Ichabel, right.
How?
And that's it, right? I think Ichabel, and we can wrap it there.
Yeah,
maybe
call
a
it
few
day.
tainted steals here
All right,
and
sweet.
there.
Thanks, guys, for tuning into Ichabel
no,
is all
it's
you
fine.
need to know about these guys. We'll see you next time. Just kidding. Welcome into Q. We're going to go a little bit longer than that. Vote, Netrioid, not Shinto, Zapman, Cyclonespin, and Barracuda all join me. We are going to be discussing the hunter role a little bit here today. You know, past metas, favorites, least favorites, all those sorts of fun things. So let's start off baseline here. In Smite at the moment, Barracuda, what would you say is your job as a hunter?
Hit structures, kill fire giants, and don't die.
Everyone else agree with that?
Sounds about right.
All right, fair enough. Feels pretty straightforward. Has that changed at all in anyone's mind over the past years? I mean, look, as a hunter, you're hitting autos and you're melting targets. Has that
Last year was
changed?
be really useless.
Yeah. There's a big change from last year to this year.
Yeah.
This year we can actually hit gods.
We can do damage. Last year we get killed by thorns only.
What was it, Thorns last year?
Double thorns.
Double thorns.
Double
Double
Thorns,
blink.
right.
Maybe sometimes
triple.
three
Yeah.
if the jungler decides they want to
Yeah.
ruin our lives. Maybe a Cthulhu coming here and there.
Maybe
Yeah.
2 Cthulhu ults.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Look, this is such a unique opportunity because all you guys feel, you're on separate teams, but y'all feel the same type of pain as one another. Vote. In your mind, what do you think makes a good hunter? What do you have to do to be a good hunter?
Somehow live.
Somehow live?
If you don't live, you can't get FG. So you just have to live.
Do you think,
It's easier said than done.
is that always on you, or do you think you can rely on your teammates for that?
I mean, personally, I can't rely on my team. So it's on me.
Yeah. How about you guys? What do you think makes a good hunter, Netrioid?
I would say having a little bit of love in yourself, because you know, you're gonna die, you're gonna get ganked. So if you don't have the mental, you don't have the love for yourself, you're
Right.
gonna be yeah. But apart from that, I would say awareness on the map is pretty much everything when you are farming from early to mid game, late game. Because if you have a map awareness, you are pretty much never dying.
Sure. Similar thoughts, Zap?
I mean, I don't know. Use actives, I guess. That's my classic
When is that
spiel
meme
now.
gonna die? Because you've been on point.
I'm
recently with the
milking it
actives.
right now. I'm
Right.
milking it right now. So until another meme comes out, I'm gonna milk that one.
Sure. This is an interesting opportunity because you guys all clearly have different personalities, but I want to equate this to football, other sports. In the NFL, it feels like all the wide receivers are cocky and super confident in themselves. The quarterbacks are kind of the stoic, confident type.
So we're quarterbacks.
Well, that's the question. Do you think there is an average personality type that, whether it's an average Smite player or an SPL hunter has? Do you think there is a hunter personality trait?
Mentally damaged?
Mentally damaged?
We're just kind of there.
Masochist.
I'm just kind of there for the ride,
Yeah. Is that indicative of just the way a game goes for a hunter? You guys just
Yeah.
kind of kick back and cruise on in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what do we decide on? Masochists is our
Yeah.
personality
Maybe
trait?
the last 2 years. This year, not so much. This year's
This year,
kind of a good year.
we're kind of vibing.
Yeah, this year we're the quarterback kind of.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
been good. It's been good. Finally.
And I think that kind of pivots into the next topic here. Is Season 8 at the moment your favorite meta for being a hunter in recent memory?
No.
I don't know.
I like Season 6.
I was gonna go with Spinner.
I like that entire lane myself.
Let's say we didn't like Thorns in Season 6, right? We didn't
Right.
like Thorns. But our supports were not in lane. They were griefing the jungler from level 1.
Yeah.
And we would just solo farm and not have to worry about the enemy jungler at all. And even if he did come, he was 5 levels behind.
They get solo killed.
It was the good
They get
old days.
2v1 because
Yeah.
we're so far ahead.
That was good.
I just like playing mages as well.
Yeah.
Mages is
I
fun.
miss playing Merlin.
I got to play Merlin when he was fun.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you guys are weird. I'm a hunter only guy right here.
I mean, you played Jean Kui for a little bit.
Yeah, and I was a very good Zong, sometimes. Very good Morgan sometimes, and then I got kicked to the mid lane. So
Did the hunter meta of the sprinkling of mages here and there make any of you guys question your role choice? You
No.
consider maybe swapping over to mid at any point?
no,
No.
no, definitely not.
Maybe this year. I mean, mid's OP.
Yeah,
Mid's OP this year.
that's right. I mean, would you consider hunter the second most powerful role at the moment?
Well, I would consider solo the most powerful.
Sure.
Just out of principle.
Even without Thorns?
Even without
just-
Thorns.
just
Just out
because,
of
Some
principle.
of them build thorns right now.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
true.
Actually,
You're
yeah,
right.
they just
You're right.
they still do that. But yeah, no, I'd say ADCs. I mean, jungler's pretty up there too, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Personally, I think jungler's pretty
Yeah.
OP. So I'd say we're
They
the third
disagree.
then. We're the third. We're the third.
Yeah, I want to get the jungle roll queue going. I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of fun things to say about the meta at the moment. Third strongest role. You two, what do you think? Vote Netrioid. Do you think you're towards the
Solo
top
support,
half? Yeah.
mid, ADC jungler.
Really? So
I like
you could
that.
be weak.
I like
That's
that
really
service,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
with vote.
I'm realistic, you know. Solo's absolutely broken.
Yeah.
Support, absolutely broken.
100%.
Mid, absolutely broken.
Mm-hmm.
Hunters, mental 6 items, then you're good.
Right.
And jungles can actually just ruin your day or be completely useless.
Yep.
Or
There's no,
both.
no in
They could
between.
be both, actually.
Actually, yeah, actually could be both, yeah.
They probably are both, actually, right now.
And you mentioned supports as being particularly strong right now.
Yeah.
And so this can be ranked, this can be SPL-wise. You don't have to throw your specific supports under the bus if you don't want to. When you're in lane, because we are in lane in Season 8, as we weren't so much in Season 6, do you have any pet peeves that your support does or doesn't do? Anything come to mind for that?
When is it?
He's thinking real hard.
Is
When-
Ronnie in chat? Because if he
I was about to
Ronnie's
say.
perfect. I love
He
that
was
guy.
in chat earlier.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes they just get in there, you know,
Yeah.
with an entire wave on them.
Yeah, that's I love
Yeah.
that. When they go in there, just tank the whole wave, tank the ADC, get back, a Fafnir's done, get sundered, and then they die. And I'm just like, cool.
Is that? I imagine that there's a little bit of both ranked and SPL.
I'm sure every support's done that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, even in SPL.
How about in ranked specifically? I imagine
I got
with
a million.
communication
Ranked probably happens like a
Being-
1,000 times more.
being a
maybe.
little bit more limited in ranked. Is it similar pet peeves, just kind of dialed up a bit
Yeah,
when you're
I mean,
when
like
you're
a lot
laning?
of sports don't get hog usually.
Yeah, that-
they
that's
make
really weird.
sometimes you see one start a green buff and you lose every
Yeah.
creep on the
Yeah,
wave.
yeah. That the start for sure is a big one. And then like Vote said, a lot of times they like Sobek pluck into 6 creeps, a full creep wave, you know what I mean, or something like that, and then
Can't
they
be
just
doing that.
die instantly and
Right.
stuff.
Sometimes I'm like a full pressure hunter and they pick Geb.
That is a bad one. Oh
I feel like there's been a conversation around Geb where people, I think that people have talked about how Geb can be a pressure pick. Do we?
Depends on the player.
Sure.
for
Yeah.
Is that player based?
If you're
Yeah.
rolling every wave, he could
Yep.
be pressure.
I guess if you're rolling into the wave, then you're getting too aggressive at points, though. So they got to be careful.
It's a
They don't
fine
wanna-
line. It's a
It's a
fine
fun
line,
line. They don't want to. They don't want to make their star ADC sad.
It's the same with like Fafnir, you
yeah.
know, if they just miss every hammer, I'm just like, or they just walk up and they like hammer the wave and walk away, like, thanks, I guess, you helped me clear the wave.
Right.
Like, you really put out a lot of pressure in my lane just there, thank you.
So is there a sigh of relief when you finally get to the point in the game where the support just kind of leaves? Does it give you flashbacks to Season 6 where you just kind of
No.
kick back and farm? Or is
Then,
that not
then
the
you
case?
like,
The jungler can just
yeah,
come up,
exactly. I
right?
was gonna say you're riskier to.
Or
jungler
sometimes
killing
the
you.
support just comes back, you know,
Yeah.
in the game.
Like your
queue.
support might just go to mid and just stay there,
That's true.
but then there's support jungle will just come walking to you.
to your purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Just
see
like,
them
nice.
hiding behind a wall ready to
Yeah.
jump you when you walk
Yeah.
out the lane after doing purple buff.
So you're never feeling truly safe, I guess, in lane as
no.
ADC. And we've already
Never.
talked about how if the other team just wants you dead, they're going to find a way to make that happen. So I imagine then it's somewhat difficult in ranked. We're going to stick with ranked, and I know we all love talking about it. I imagine then it might be difficult as a hunter to, quote, solo carry a ranked game. Do you think it's
Impossible.
possible to do so on hunter?
Impossible.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
agree with
think
Steve.
I think if you're streaming, it's impossible.
Yep.
If you're not streaming, it's probably pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think the easiest role to carry in ranked is mid or solo,
Yeah.
Solo
Yeah.
absolutely owns every.
because like I think a carry role in ranked is so bad, just like fundamentally. I feel like it's just solo queuing, because if they want to kill you, they will just kill you.
You're the squishiest guy
Yeah.
on the map
In the longest lane.
in the longest lane.
See, that makes me feel better. I went like 0-7 last night in hunter, and I was like, there's no way that's my fault.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
it
definitely isn't
Yeah.
your
It's
fault.
clearly
You're a
someone
product.
else's
You're a
fault.
product of the role.
They had a blink Fenrir, and he just kept blinking on me in lane.
That could be your support's fault. I mean,
Right, and the support just wasn't there.
Could be every other role but your
Right.
fault.
Now, see, this is a very wide receiver mentality we're having right now. There, if the ADCs are the quarterbacks, there's no way the quarterback is blaming everyone else, right? The post game
The quarterback
interview.
definitely blames the
No,
receivers.
I feel like the quarterback
Ran the
always
wrong route. He didn't follow through. You know what I mean?
Right. So the hunter, the mental of the hunter can be a shifting area, to say the least. Let's talk about. Okay, so I think maybe we've covered this a little bit. Was Season 7 then your least favorite meta because
The
of Thorns?
worst ever.
Yeah.
I
Just
hated my life.
Thorns alone.
That's why I wanted a roll swap
Right.
coming this year because I felt so useless.
We had the worst pen item.
Yeah.
Alliance had 25 power on it.
It was just rough, man. They would just double blink, and if they wanted you dead, you'd just be dead. You couldn't like do anything.
I
or
actually
something.
kind of liked that because I
Oh
built the double
my
defense.
goodness.
No, I built the double defense.
I just want to
build.
make a disclaimer because this is why
Sure.
it's so hard to get Thorns nerfed. I go on the Discord, I'm like, Thorns needs nerfs. And then you got other ADCs, I'm not going to say any names. They're like, I kind of like this meta, or I kind of like Thorns, or I
Are they
think
at
Thorns
this
is
table right
necessary.
now?
Who
Are they
would
amongst
Okay,
us?
Who would
I typed
actually-
that Discord once.
who would type that? Dude?
I'm just saying it's happened over the years because Thorns has been around for a long time. And I've been battling this battle for like 7 years, trying to get Thorns removed.
I agree with you on Thorns.
Okay.
Well, it's a little less nowadays, right?
Yeah, now it's a little less
But
prevalent.
the fact that it's in the game is too much.
As a matter of principle, yes.
All right, so then, Season 7, Thorns, big meta that we weren't a big fan of then. What do you think in your mind in the past, could be Season 7 to 8, 6 to 7, whatever in the past. In your mind, what do you think the biggest ADC meta shift in competitive history was? If you think back on it, when the role changed or felt the most changed after a big update.
Probably six.
Season
Probably
6.
6, yeah.
Yeah, because we played the most gods. We had the most like versatility.
You didn't even go hunters anymore. You just played
Yeah.
all mages.
I wasn't,
Unless
I
you're
wasn't in duel
Arkle.
at that point.
Yeah,
If you're Arkle, then you're just still older every game.
yeah.
What was it about that meta that?
Because you just got all the farm. So
Yeah.
you just played like good gods in the lane. In the long lane, you can solo people way easier than
Sure.
like in solo lane because
Mages were also like way better late game.
yeah, you just pick
'Cause
scaling gods.
You
and
just get
free lane.
Ob Shard, slap it on
Yeah.
every single build.
And their early game was insane.
Yeah.
Because you'd outclear a hunter, you'd outtrade a hunter
Mhm.
as a mage. So
Yeah, Dynasty plate helmet was
Yeah.
broken right
Yeah.
there.
True. I think Pythags is broken too.
Pythags was
Pythags,
broken.
yeah.
Celestial Legion helmet.
Yep.
basically, hunters couldn't compete with mages.
That
by
was
season
fun.
six.
Yeah.
Bancross was broken too. Yeah.
So you had to
That's
be
the
a mage.
gist of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys, then there's this sort of weird hybrid middle zone where it's like the mage ADCs. Does that kind of scratch that mage itch for you guys, or not really? You still feel like you're slinging autos and doing this, I guess, Freya, Kronos, Oleron were the big three, right?
Soul.
Soul, right?
Soul.
Oh, Soul.
Cannot
by the
forget
way.
John
I'm leaving out the most important one.
Don't even
Um,
think Oleron's a character right now.
Yeah, Oleron actually is just unplayable, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are we going to see Oleron again?
When they
What's gonna change?
make Spectral Armor not work on him.
It literally counters. It makes him crit less than his actual like autos.
What were you talking? We were talking in the break room out there. You went some build where you're critting like 5% or something like that.
Oh yeah, with Heim. Yeah, you can't. I was building crit in SPL and I realized someone on Reddit. I'm getting all my stuff from Reddit, by the way. These guys are geniuses out there. Props to you, Reddit. Anyway, and some guy was like, you only get 5 bonus crit damage or bonus damage from crit when someone builds Spectral and you have Heim. And then I just realized that the passive of Heim is you only do 65% bonus crit damage on its own, and Spectral 60%, and it's
Right.
additive. So you just minus the 60 from 65, and you get 5%. And then I was like, that makes a lot of sense because I was doing no damage that game.
Right. Well, look, you live and learn.
Yeah.
You adapt.
You lose and learn, I guess, in my
But you
case.
lose and learn. And we've talked a little bit about the popular picks over the years, things you guys do and don't like playing. Netrioid, I'll go to you first on this one. Look, for me, when I'm playing Hunter, when I'm playing ADC, it feels like the feel of the auto attacks on the Hunters is like, I think, pretty unique from god to god. Obviously, the kit and the abilities is the most important. Does the feel of the auto attack and how easy or hard those are to hit play it all into the types of gods you choose to pick?
Yeah, I feel like that happens. For example, I cannot hit Chiron autos for some reason. Like when you go like a strafing, like from
Right.
A to D,
Yes,
it
dude.
feels awkward, like how he holds and the long back he has it's like
You see the way his character
Yeah,
model moves,
yeah,
it moves to the
exactly.
side, but the auto's still like that way
Yeah.
from his like behind.
So I find, yeah,
It's
so
so
I find
weird.
it. Yeah, I think it happens like to a lot of us.
How about the rest of you guys agree with that?
I feel that in Hoi. Hoi feels weird to play.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Hui autos. They feel so
See,
good.
I think
No
that's so
way.
unique,
Oh,
where
they're
some
so
people just
good.
can't hit the autos.
I hate Jingwei autos.
I love Jingwei.
Yeah, you would.
All right, let's just go around the table. Favorite auto attacks to hit. What do you think feels the best?
Artemis feels clean.
Artemis?
Yeah.
How about you, Netrioid?
No?
I'll say Ram actually.
Artemis.
I was gonna say ramen. I'm gonna say something different.
You could say Rom.
I think Donza has some good autos.
True.
What happened to Donza? We don't
Yeah,
like him
Donza.
anymore.
He does.
He does. Fair enough. Favorite autos to hit?
Probably ramen too.
I wanted to say ramen.
But Onher's pretty fine as well.
There.
I'm trying to think of something different. I was gonna go dance.
How has nobody said Heimdall? I feel like Heimdall's just got the like.
It's just
the
slow though.
beefiest feeling
It's
out
just
of-
slow.
At the
I guess.
beginning,
And
like
it's
early
also
game,
because
he
it's
just feels
wider,
terrible.
right? The hitbox is wider.
Right.
That's why people.
Also, maybe it's
say-
just easier for me.
Maybe that's why, I was gonna say that's why I play him a lot too.
You can say Soul.
I could say Soul. Soul autos are not great though.
No.
They are not great until you get heat going. They feel dog water.
They look so small and they feel terrible.
All in autos, he has nice autos.
I was gonna say Oleron. Yeah, I was
If
struggling
if he was a
with names.
character,
If
you
he
know.
was, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say Oleron.
All right. All right.
I mean, they don't do any damage, but they're easy to hit.
Right. So not enough of a scaling in the easy to hit autos
Yeah.
department to.
I was a 6-item hunter against a carry and did 400 damage with 3 autos.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage.
Is what I would say if we're
It
actually.
might just be player skill issue.
Yeah, that's
Could-
what
you could have just crit. You know?
I could have just built defense or anything else.
Yeah. Maybe buff Nemean.
Do you look back at any particular meta, kind of with this conversation, either individual items or just an entire build? Because when the dust settles on big updates, hunter builds become a little bit more standard with a few items that can get changed around. Is there a favorite item, either that you buy now or you bought in the past that you kind of miss having as standard on hunters?
Fatality.
Fatalities, yeah.
Fatality, yeah, that was actually so fun.
I wasn't a hunter back then, you know.
Actually, I had so much fun playing Fatalis back in the day.
When it could actually fit in your build, it was an amazing item.
You nodded your head. I imagine same for you. Fatalis.
Maybe old Heartseeker.
All hard
Oh,
is snowballing.
stacking
The stacking
Yeah.
Heartseeker.
That was very snowbally. That was good.
Draining Blade Heartseeker.
I mean, I miss Golden Bow.
Yeah,
to be
me-
honest.
yeah.
Those are good
Yeah, I
old days.
don't.
I did not.
I like crit.
I was gonna say, what's because what was it? Crit meta was all the conversation it felt like last year. We get all the hunters together. What's your take on the crit meta? Did it need to go? Were you happy with it, or you wish it stuck around a little longer?
I mean, for me, I understand both sides. Right? I understand
That's
both
just
sides.
smart.
But I just like seeing big numbers when I play ADC.
Of course.
And that's
The
my
big
take on
blood
it.
splat,
Yeah,
get
that's
the-
my
the
take
big
on it. I
numbers.
just
I
like
just
the
hate
big numbers.
the
It's fun.
1v1 aspect
Yeah.
of it.
Yep.
If they crit first all, you just lose.
Nope.
It's cool in team fights, but in lane, losing it because he crit
Yeah.
one single
Yep.
time.
I feel like RNG mechanics is just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of useless.
Especially when Poison Star was a thing.
Yeah, an OP wind demon.
Yeah.
We still see a little wind demon nowadays, but just a little bit. Over the years, there's been these big meta shifts, and big updates like the boots going out, things like that. There's a lot of theory crafting that goes on, and I think Panda Cat's had a lot of conversation around him over recent weeks. It can be anyone at this table, anyone not at this table, present day or past day ADCs. Does anyone stand out in your mind as a meta definer type player? This guy starts playing it, and everyone else tends to follow suit. Does anyone come to mind for that?
Whoever's winning.
Whoever's winning.
Whoever's winning.
Yeah.
The winner, usually.
Yeah, that's really how it goes.
You just think they're smarter than you for some reason, just because like their teams.
But they
winning.
do more damage than you for
Yeah.
some reason. Like, that's how it is with builds for ADCs too. You're like, is he doing more damage than me?
Yes, then you
Or
try
at least that's
it.
what I think. I'm like, is he doing
Yeah.
more damage than me?
Or they just see like you do well in one scrim, like yeah, I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah.
And he gets wildfired.
Yeah. I don't know. It just depends who's
Sure.
winning, who's doing the best, right? And then you're just like, it must be the build,
You've all
or it
got
must
your
be
own
something.
ideas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So you all get your own ideas, and then every once in a while, someone will poke something new in there. Because there was a big shift this last weekend, right, where originally it was just all bows, it felt like. We saw crit starting to squeak its way in just a little bit there.
the crit stocks.
Mathematics.
I
boys.
think it was all Reddit.
Yep.
Actually.
it was all.
Yeah,
It
that's
was actually
actually
all
Reddit.
Reddit.
How much stock do you guys put in when it comes to things like that into the community at large's opinion?
Oh, usually never. But
No.
you can link me to some guy made a computer script to test out all the builds.
that 18-page doc. I was
Yeah.
like, this is cool. I'll try that.
I don't even read it, but if it looked like it was from
Right.
a smart guy,
Someone
right?
put
It
a
like
lot
looked
of
good.
it
You
in.
just- I see a bunch of numbers.
It had
Yeah.
graphs. It had
Yeah.
everything.
So basically, I looked at Reddit, right? I see it looked really well presented. I'm like, this guy's obviously a genius. And then I just go to the TLDR, build this. And I'm like, exactly. And I build that.
So we're giving Reddit a little credit.
Probably a lot.
Well,
of
that
people.
guy.
Probably
That
that
one
guy,
guy.
yeah,
That
one
one
specific
guy.
person.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, no.
Whoever it is, if they're yeah, right. You can't give Reddit in
As a
general
whole,
that much
no
credit.
way.
No, but that one guy, whoever you are out there, if you're watching, guy or girl, much appreciated, and you're getting a lot of praise from the SPL ADC players here. Let's rewind the clock to the beginning of all of your careers in
Oh,
Hunter.
jeez.
I don't remember that far back.
Okay, then you can exempt yourself. This one's basic. How did each of you decide on playing Hunter? We'll start with you, Vote. What was it about Hunter that really drew you in?
I was a mid laner.
So you started in there.
Yeah. Okay. My first team was a mid laner. And I went on holiday. I came back and I was kicked out on holiday.
That's my
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
stuff.
And Musi. Back
Oh,
then,
that
that was a long time ago. A long
So I
time
brought
ago.
up a painful memory. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then I don't know why. Like, I think it was one of you two. Like back in the day, I watched either of you. Like, and Game Hunter as well when he was ADC. I watched like all three of them. I was like, okay.
You just started playing it and you liked it?
Yeah.
How about you, Netrioid?
It was the auto for me, like the challenge, because okay, so this is what happened to me, and I think people know it. Like when I joined the Smite, I played in Europe for like 2 years in a row because I didn't know how to change servers or stuff.
No way.
So and also I didn't know how to look my ping, so I never knew F8 until 2 years later.
Right.
So I never really felt a lag, but when it comes to auto, I was like, oh, I like this challenge. I want to hit all of my autos, right? Even if I was on ping, even I didn't know that, right? And then I just tried and kept trying, and then I found out that you could change servers, and it became way easier. And I just stick to that.
That's
route.
why he's a beast. You
That's
know,
what that is, the powerhouse
you know what that
that he
reminds
is.
me of, like batting with a weighted bat,
Right.
right? That's
Well,
what he did.
He didn't
but-
even know it either.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
he
for
solves
2
all of
years.
I mean, I was like 14 years old.
And now
That's the
you're
secret.
moving on in the 1v1 tournament because you got the
You mean he's
ping
gonna
in.
win the 1v1 tournament?
That's the secret. All right.
Who's up next? I don't even remember
Me
who's.
and Steve.
Oof.
Get the wheel
Battle of the
ready.
Brewery.
How about you, Zapman? How'd you decide on Hunter?
So I played like in the very beginning. There weren't even roles back then. And then
Just the Wild
it was
West.
just the Wild West. Yeah, everyone was just playing whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
And then we felt like we needed like a range damage dealer that wasn't a mage, right? This is how our thinking back then was, and no one really wanted to play it. Again, I was a jungler back then,
Right.
and no one really wanted to play it. So I was like, all right, screw it, I'll just play it. And then I've been stuck here ever since.
Stuck.
Stuck, yes, against
Well,
my
you're
will.
good at it, right? You gotta keep doing it. How about you, Cyclonespin? How'd the journey begin for you?
I also played when there was no ADC back then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until like season 4 or the end of it, Aurora just asked me, like for the year after, to just swap to ADC. Because he wanted to team with me, Divios, and Best. So I just said, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you've had a storied career ever since.
Yeah,
Because-
I luckily won Worlds that year, and
You
I
did?
just stayed.
Too soon, man.
Yeah, we've kept things non-hostile until I asked you, and then you got kicked, and that was all my fault. BaRRaCCuDDa, I imagine your story is somewhat similar to the
Yeah,
other
same.
storied careers here. Same
It
idea.
was actually Andy and Heater were making a team, and Andy wanted jungle, and I also wanted jungle. Then I was like, I had a lot of respect for Andy back then because he was on Dig.
Some BLG
He was
game.
on Dig for a little bit.
Yeah,
Or
so I-
Root, I think it was Root.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, like that guy's insane. I'll let him do jungle. Then I come from shooter, so I just was like, I'll play hunter or like ADC, whatever. And then my first major scrim memory where I was like, oh, I'm good, is I soloed Steve.
I don't remember this.
You were Neath and I was Apollo.
Oh, of course, I was Neath. Oh, that explains it all.
Like, you literally just tanked the whole wave and died.
Yeah,
And
I was a
like-
bit of an idiot back then, that's for sure.
I was like, this guy doesn't respect
Back
me
then?
at all.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to be
Only
more
that-
disciplined now.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
disciplined now, most of the time. That's so funny.
Do you think that you two have the most storied ADC matchup history?
We definitely have the longest
The
rivalry.
longest rivalry. How rivalry carries such a weight with it, though? Do you think? I mean, it's purely a fun rivalry, right? There's
Yeah,
no. You
Well,
hate each
no,
other,
it
clearly.
wasn't fun in the beginning. No,
Yeah.
it was definitely very hostile in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now we're just old boomer buddies. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we don't care now. But
Or you
like,
stand in solidarity with one another while the young guns come up
Yeah.
and take over the league.
basically, yeah.
I think our communities have a lot more tension than we do. Like everyone's like, "Oh, the Zap Bear match," and we're like, "Yeah, we get to play."
Anytime we queue against each other in ranked, it's like, you're against Barra. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Hey, you're against Barra. Zap, you're against Barra. I'm like, I know, it's okay, dude. Like, I don't mind. It's funny.
I don't think any of you guys are under any threat, and I'm the precursor to this question with that. But when talking about the new age and the shifting players in that ADC pool, does anyone come to mind in the SEC or SOC that you could see starting to rise up in coming years? Any individual players you think in the hunter role that have a little momentum behind them that aren't in the SPL yet?
I would say from EU, Spud, and Streak. I think they're both really good.
Streak I played against
Streak
Streak.
is
He's
really good.
insane.
Yeah.
And with Josh when he was in ADC.
Josh
He
was
was
really
good.
good too. Yeah.
Back in LG.
I feel like I got to shout out a lot of the Latin players too, because they're in our ranked games. I don't remember if they're like ADCs or not, but like they're really good. Like there's a lot of them, and they're really good players.
Yeah.
They just they got to shine in ranked, and I guess they got to make SEC teams or whatever. But I think there's a lot of really good Latin players.
Well, it's a fun role to watch, and I think each one of you has a kind of a unique play style, and each one of you is fun to watch. So we're gonna gas each other up a little bit here. I know you wince at it, so we're gonna go around the table.
I'm not gassing Barra up. There's no way.
Yeah, my ego's hard.
All right, well you can make this answer however you want. You can make it your own. It could be good or bad. We're gonna go around the table. Andy. I don't like a teacher here.
You will do that.
All right. We're going to go around the table.
Get the yardstick.
And each of us is going to, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on one another's play style. So, Barra, starting with you, and we'll come this way. When you think about Vote and the way he plays the game.
Oh, I have to go first for all four?
No, we're going to go you
okay.
about Vote, Cyclone about Vote, Zap
Okay.
Vote. So you get all your gas at the beginning, and then you gotta spread it out. So describe Vote's play style, maybe even what it's like going against him.
I think he is a very safe, but there's times where he just gets like wild. Like he'll just start like running it down and being like super aggressive. I don't know if that's like you trying to like force a play or like my team's losing. Oh, you're bored. Okay, never mind. So
I'm tired of farming.
yeah, I would say very safe farmer. I feel like contesting farm is a little difficult versus Vote. Yeah.
Sweet. What do you think, Cyclonespin?
I think Vote's a really, really strong laner. He kind of knows how to 1v1.
Yeah.
He's really safe.
Picks his moments.
And he does pick his moments sometimes.
Thanks, man.
Sometimes he just
Thanks.
gets in there.
I imagine this is similar to like when people are singing "Happy Birthday" to you, and you're just kind of like sitting and nodding and enjoying it. What do you think, Zap, about Vote?
I feel like Vote is like he kind of just comes at you when you don't really expect it. Like for example, I feel like randomly I just start fighting Vote, and then all of a sudden he's just destroying me. I'm like, wait, what? Like what's happening? Yeah, because we're like farming the whole game, and then all of a sudden he's just like popping off and things like that. So I think he's a very smart player, and I also think he has his own ideas about the ADC, and he's not scared to do them and like picks and builds and
Right.
stuff like that. So definitely, just all those things combined, he's a good player.
Unpredictable Vote. That's what I'm getting out of this. Netrioid, what do you think about Vote?
Yeah, I will say Vote has its moments. Like Zap just said it, like when you are 1v1 him, sometimes you just feel like, why am I losing like that hard,
Yeah.
Right.
Because you are like the same build and stuff. And I think he's a smart player too, but like I said, he has its times because sometimes he just like press W, even if he's against minions or something, he just
Right.
goes for the 1v1 or for an invade without wards
Right.
and stuff. So, which
So
is
maybe
fine.
it's when the game when you can tell he's getting bored is when you know
Yeah.
that he's gonna turn things around and go in. All right, so now starting with Vote and going the same way. What do you think about Netrioid and his play style and playing against him?
I think it's wild. I can never predict him. Like I feel like just as he playing as Yorko as well. I feel like just sometimes you just jump in. Like I'm looking at like that map when you jump in, and I feel like okay, this makes no sense for him to do this, but he's just doing it. And because I'm looking at the map, I'm just dead
Right.
the next second. So, like, okay, not so much like this season, but like last season you're really aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind of just blasting me last season. That's for sure. Ben Jenner's just very, very good.
Yeah. You got to be on your toes. Can't have the
Yeah.
map open. Can't have the shop open. BaRRaCCuDDa, over to you. What do you think?
Wait, what? I thought we were going in that order.
Oh no, we're going.
Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise about Netrioid.
I would say big difference between last year and this year for me. I think last year you played way safer and way more defensively, and then, well, at least against me. I don't know about what vote situation was. But I feel like our lanes were kind of dictated by our supports, and this year, I think you have a lot more individual playmaking skill, and you're just way more aggressive. Way, like, when this guy picks on her, you know he's gonna hunt you on the corners and wait for you to walk in the lane, and he'll just like sit around and just wait for you to kill you. And laning against him on her is kind of the same as like laning against Yarkor on her, and they just very aggressive styles. I think on the more defensive picks, he likes to farm a bit and obviously not force the 1v1s, which you shouldn't be anyways. But again, very good farmer, very intelligent with his rotations as well.
So he's built for the on-her 1v1s is what we're getting at. Everyone's got him
That's
ready.
why I lost. That's the only reason.
Cyclonespin, what do you think about Netrioid and his playstyle?
I think he's like the best 1v1er of like all the hunters. He always takes the fight when he knows he's almost guaranteed to win.
Sure.
I've never seen him actually. I've never personally beaten him that often. It's more like an 80-20, He like absolutely dumpsters me every single time. Even if I'm in a counter matchup, he'll still actually dumpster me. It just makes no sense.
The 1v1 king, Zap.
Pretty much everyone said it, but I'm just going to add one more thing.
Yeah.
He's the kind of ADC player when you're both doing the same build, he does more damage than you, like somehow.
Or he's got RNG on his
No,
side.
it just
My
feels
goodness.
that way, because he's so good.
His Tusky AI is better. Right?
Whatever it is, I don't know. It must be the EU ping. I don't know.
Could
So
be.
yeah, he's just one of those players that, when you fight him, you're like, even if you have like an item advantage, you kind of like, somehow he still does more damage than you.
Right.
That's how
Makes
I
you
would
think
describe
twice.
him.
Makes
Yeah.
you think twice. All right, now we get to shift to old man Zap here. We're going to start with you, Netrioid. At this point, you got to be numb to it.
That was uncalled for.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't about the old man part. It was just about the.
Oh, that word. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that one, I'm used to that. That's true.
Right,
I'm just worried about what they're
all
going to
right, so Netrioid, what do you think about Zapman, his play style, and what are your thoughts?
Okay, I will call Zapman when it comes to autos, mechanics, everything like abilities. He will always hit them when he's like playing seriously.
say? God.
Like, no, I'm being serious because like I haven't seen like an ADC hit that many autos and being confident in the 1v1s like Zapman.
Yep.
But even if he's like behind, he will do that still. He won't
That's
miss,
true.
but he will lose it.
Right.
Because that's what I look up about Zapman.
Yep.
And I think he's really smart. Like I think he could be any team's IGL pretty much.
Sure.
Like, and when it comes to build, well, he said he got it on Reddit, so I cannot give him that credit. But
Sure.
but yeah.
Thank you, Netrioid. Thank you.
Vote, you got harsher things to say?
Prior season Zap, okay, this season, okay, Leviathan Zap, good.
Yeah,
regular
Leviathan
season.
Zap, okay,
But
that's
like
fine.
previous seasons, I've always thought he was like a regular season
say
Zap.
it,
I
just say it,
did-
it's okay.
I had fun playing against regular
Yeah.
season Zap. Then World Zap was like a different beast.
Yeah.
I don't know what you took or smoked or injected before Worlds, but you're always like at a different level at Worlds,
No.
and that was scary.
Thank you, Vote. Thank you.
But I imagine you'll have some weighty opinions on this one.
I mean, we've been playing against each other for years. I'll go back from the beginning, I guess.
Sure.
Zap was like just wild in the earlier seasons. He would literally try to 1v1 you on like every other wave. And it was actually like really good practice, but it was super annoying to play against because it was just like this guy's giving me no breathing room at all. And then once I'm like, hey, my jungler, like this guy is like jumping on me every other wave, please come over. I think Zap has just gotten way smarter with how he just wants to play the game and less about the 1v1s and more about overall map play and decision making on the map. And I feel like every team he's been on, I think it shows a lot in Leviathans as well. I think their shot calling and decision making late game has gotten so much better. I think it's just very obvious that Zap is like in his world's mentality or mindset since he joined Leviathans. And 1v1, all that stuff is like amazing, obviously. Like very skilled player.
We got nothing to prove, right? Like you
I'm
got
not
the- you got
expecting.
the-
I was expecting like
you got
them
the
talking
wild
about
child
Scrim
out.
Zap or
Yeah,
something
right.
like that.
We don't talk about
Scrim
Scrim
Zap's a different beast.
There you go.
He's a wild one.
Yeah.
He just tries to 1v1 or he just runs it down.
So you get it all out in the scrims, and then when you get
Yeah,
in the
but when
game,
it comes to like SPL,
Yeah.
against me though, like the past few years, Zap's been really passive. You've been passive only against me. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Hand the camera over to me, please.
Yeah, dude. Like we played. You guys played us and the Dragons. You played Jingwei against me, center your tower the entire game. But against Panda, you whip out your ruler.
That's a good point, Cyclone.
That
man.
is true.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he's
Zap,
got me
Zap-
there.
Zap's definitely a very methodical player. He's definitely one of the best, like, objective-minded hunter players. He always knows what to call. He's always playing for the team.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to die for his team to help his team win.
You know, Zap, you lay it all. You lay it all out.
That's why I feed.
Well, here's the good news, Zap. We'll go to you. We're talking about Cyclonespin now, going back. I'm doing this. I don't know why. I got a weird spirally thing going on. We're talking about Cyclonespin, starting with Zapman. What do you think about his play style and playing against him?
I feel like he's an extremely intelligent player. Also, one that's very hard to prepare for mentally because you don't know if he's going to whip out the set. You don't know if he's going to whip out some random god or like a Bologna ADC or something like that. And
Sure.
it's kind of like it's almost a scary thing to play against Cyclone, especially when the meta's not defined, because he just
You
whips
never
out
know.
anything, and he's such a gifted mechanical player that he can play any role, like any
Right.
god, anything like that. So he's insanely difficult to prepare for. He's very intelligent. He does, pretty much everything perfectly,
Yep.
and that's pretty much it.
What do you think, Netrioid?
Yeah, we'll go with almost the same. Like that's for sure. When you wanna like prepare for a
Yep.
matchup against Cyclone, you can always think about, is he gonna play something else? Is he gonna play
Right.
an assassin, a warrior? Like that's it. And when it comes to mechanics too, I think he's really good.
Yep.
Mechanically talking, and I will say he has his moments when he kind of goes wild too, because he never like. Sometimes I feel like when I want to contest wards with a
Right.
sentry, sometimes Cyclone doesn't work like in one game, but the next one he's just like full buying wards.
Sure.
So yeah.
I don't believe in words sometimes.
Oh, it costs gold, man. I mean, look, when you upgrade your
I mean, if
irrelevant.
everyone else is countering my words, I don't need a word anymore.
Fair point. Make them waste gold. There wasn't a ward there anyway. Doesn't matter. Vote over to you.
I actually like playing against Cyclone because I feel like we both kind of we both kind of know. Okay, we're just gonna like farm.
Right.
I feel like I think we've never actually fought him.
It's
like-
an unspoken.
I think we've
farm
actually
it.
just never fought.
Yeah.
I guess it's scrims okay. Just scrims.
Right.
But like, I feel like he's a corner camper though.
Yeah.
Like you walk the lane, he's behind the wall,
Right.
But and obviously everyone knows he's insane.
Right.
He's smart.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like he's just never really fought each other. I just wanted to fight him, but we just don't really fight each other.
You guys play each other.
Yeah, next weekend.
Yeah, you play each other next week. Let's
There you
go.
go.
Get
It's
some
It's like
fire
for
go.
fifth seed or something like that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Battle for
Seeding's
fifth.
important. Yeah, we're gonna build up this storyline now.
That's
One-
actually
you want
big.
to-
That's actually a
at some
big
point, that's
storyline.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's solo. What have I done?
Pick Jingwei, trust me, it works.
What have I done?
Over to you, Barracuda. The last one before we heap praise on you, I'm sure. So, what do you think about Cyclone?
I think over the years his playstyle has just changed to kind of whatever his team needs. I think he thrived in the Season 6 meta of pick whatever and counter the enemy, ADC or whatever was in that lane. I think now he just kind of does whatever his team needs, whether it's like pick the Artemis or pick a lane killer lane. Obviously, everyone else covered mechanics and all that stuff. Very, very talented. Hopefully the set doesn't come out more. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully the meta doesn't
Keep it away.
change.
You
You
never
know,
know.
You
hopefully.
never know, dude.
You never know with Cyclone. Unpredictable. Hard to
W.
lock down in his picks.
Yeah.
Because he can play a little bit of everything, I guess. All right, final one here. We get to talk a little bit about Barracuda. We're going to keep the spiral going. Cyclonespin. I'll give you first go here. What do you think about Barra and playing against him?
Bear is like the most team-minded player, hunter player. All his picks are just revolved around being with his team. He won't pick for anything like he won't pick a counter matchup. He'll pick a god that actually might even get countered by the other hunter, but it's strong for the team itself, and that's where like he kind of thrives in team fights. He loves playing with his team.
Yeah, the Bear Bog's been rolling through. Do you have an opinion on that, by the way?
BaRRaCCuDDa, man.
Barracuda.
See, here's the problem.
Bear
I was
bug's a
bear
disease.
Exactly.
for the enemy team. They're giving it to him. Zapman, what do you think about Barracuda, his play style?
Barry. I've known Bear for a long time. I would say to describe him in one word would be consistency. I would say he's probably the best player when it comes to playing on a good team or a bad team, still showing that he's a good player and really he knows what he's doing. He's never going to lose you the game. And he's always reliable. You know what you're going to get out of him. Clean play, great mechanics. And I think now that he's playing with a better team or just a more experienced team now, you kind of see him thrive in more 1v1 situations and more in him making aggressive plays.
Right.
Like he makes a lot of aggressive plays now that maybe he wouldn't have made season 6, whatever team you were on. I forget the name. You know what I mean?
I forgot that year.
Yeah. And so and I like seeing it because a lot of times people might think like the old guys are washed or something like that, but a lot of it has to do with the team you're on. As an ADC, you need space created for you to do things and like that. And I love to see Bear shine on like a top team and showing people, that he's a beast. That everyone here knows that he is.
Just had to rank. Just had to rank.
I'm going to clip that, by the way, and listen to it every night.
Give me your sub sound.
Bear's a beast. Netrioid, what do you think about Barracuda playing against him?
When I play against him, I just give him even I will say more respect than I will give another ADC because he's been for a while. He knows everything. Yeah.
Hey, who you give more respect to?
When it comes to the old ones,
we're
the
not,
OG
we're not
ones,
respected here.
you gotta give them more respect.
I don't blame
you
them.
respect them.
I don't blame you either, dude.
Okay. But I will go with Cyclone too. Like he's a team player.
Yeah.
Like he loves picking gods to play with his team. He won't do aggressive stuff when he doesn't have the opportunity. Like even if because I will do that. Even if I know I will miss anything or something like that. But he plays safe and he plays aggressive when he wants to. And I feel like he's really good mechanically too. Because when it comes to auto, he really hits like what he has to hit. So. Yeah.
You got to do it to be in the SPO as long as he has been. Vote, round us out here. Give us your thoughts on Barracuda.
I feel like he doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it. He doesn't make mistakes. He's done, in his 1v1s, he's done everything right. When it's just farming, he just farms everything correctly.
Yep.
Team fights, use actives correctly. Team fights are good. I think I don't see him make mistakes.
What do you think there? Flawless.
I can't wait for me and Zap's 1v1.
Very
We have a lot
Okay,
of
no,
mistakes
at
on this.
SPL exclusively.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anywhere else?
I've never seen Barra make a mistake actually.
Yeah.
Not
Ever.
once.
Me
No,
neither.
never, ever.
Me neither.
Wow.
If he loses, it's not even his fault.
That's what I'm saying.
His team let him down. I think.
Well, I think that's just. I've gathered that here sitting down with
Well,
you guys.
that-
If
that
you
is-
guys
that
lose,
is true for all
It's not
hunters.
any of your faults, right? It's someone else's.
Okay, that one Raging game was a mistake. I'll admit that. I'll admit that.
Against
I was gonna
that
bring
was
it up
against
that-
Netrioid too.
True.
That was against it. Yeah, you got
True.
first blood. I remember that. Very
No, I think I got first, second, third, and fourth.
I think you got up to 4th blood in that game.
In like
so
in like
funny,
5
man.
minutes.
5 minutes.
I was on 2, go to mid. I died mid, and okay, I got to do.
Yeah, that was a. I know it was not fun for you. Slightly humorous to watch, I have to admit. At some point, it spiraled and
I'm
you
not
have to
watching
let out a
that
little bit of a chuckle. All right, so that is the prepared roll queue segment. Now we open things up. We open up the doors to Twitter to ask the hunters some questions. We got about 10 minutes for this one, so we'll roll through these as we can. First question, actually on the topic of 1v1s. This one is from @BaRRaCCuDDa. Oh, Baron, like of beef dip, I guess. They ask, why won't you, and that's a universal you, any of you guys, fight Panda Cat in lane, I guess.
Sam's
it's a
gonna
1v1.
be there.
There's a jungler. There's a jungler. There's a
Sam's
support
gonna be
right there.
Yeah, same with
We're
Mike.
gonna get assassinated right there.
Yeah, we played Dragons last weekend. He boggled me. I'm like, okay, I'll fight him. Okay,
Right.
he won the trade. Okay, I go to my tower, and Sam's diving my
Yeah.
tier 2 like 2 seconds later.
No, the problem with Panda is that when he puts himself in a position to get 1v1, there's someone coming. That's the thing.
Even if he's not,
Yeah.
the jungler's there already.
Exactly.
Like if they're all 4 on solo side, the jungler's still going to be there.
Right, somehow.
Yeah.
They'll be there, one way or another. All right, so that I think clears things up there for Baron O Beef Dip. Maybe you guys can help One Weird Alien 1 on Twitter. what is your least favorite god to go against? And it can be another hunter, a support, a jungler, anything. If you think as a hunter, I don't want to see this person on the enemy team, who comes to mind?
Kuzenbo?
Yes.
If that god's good,
That guy's just
We're
so...
talking about generally, it's any assassin player,
Any assassin?
any jungler.
yeah.
For me, it's Kuz for sure.
What about him? Just
Well, recently I was against a player in ranked, and they went triple flat pen Kuzenbo, and I
goodness.
literally killed myself on the 2.
yeah.
Yeah, and it just
You're
why I got in the
running
game.
or autoing and
Yeah,
done.
why is reflect damage in the game? That's all I'm gonna say.
Because I feel like did we see a good bit of Kuzenbo last year when Thorns was it was
Yes.
just Thorns Kuzenbo and they just kind of
We played it in the game 5 finals with Kuzenbo,
That's right.
and we just Thorns dove. It's
Man.
good times.
What a lot of fun that was, right? You became the thing that you sought
Not
to
me,
destroy.
my
so you're
team,
right, your
my
did, I
team.
guess. All right, so Kuzenbo seemed to be the answer, or just any assassin in general. Netrioid, do you agree with the
Yeah.
group
pretty
here?
much, Yeah.
Kuzenbo or assassin? No, thank you. We talked a little bit about the most satisfying autos, so we'll pass over that one. This one's pretty unique. In your mind, which ADC, and this one is at welcome to TWO Chili on Twitter, which ADC has the best passive? And then part 2, whose passive, any other god, would you like on a hunter?
I'll be honest, I don't really know many of the passives
Yeah.
on hunters.
The Artemis passive.
Honor passive's really good.
I like Jingo's passive.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really OP. Like not having cooldown, just backing and flying.
Probably feels good.
I thought it was which player has the best passive. I thought that was the question.
Which, actually, well, it was worded, which ADC has the best passive?
Oh, okay.
So I don't.
Isn't there only Zapman passive here?
I guess we can take that.
Sure.
What is let's get a clear definition here. What is the Zapman passive?
Basically, no matter how far down you are or how much you feed,
Yeah.
you can still win the game.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Do the other 4 of you think you have a passive as an individual?
Nope.
No.
I'm not as esteemed as Zap is.
That's right.
I don't have that honor.
I have the anti-crit passive.
You have the Yanis
Meaning-
passive.
You
Oh,
don't hit crits.
I don't crit.
I
had
also don't crit. in scrims.
97% crit chance and didn't crit.
I don't
That's
believe it.
rough.
Yep, it was against Sanguine.
Okay, I'm
Against
lucky with
Shinto.
crits. I'm a lucky crit player.
That's like a
Very, very
3%
lucky.
chance.
Yeah.
Unreal.
We would have won the game off that kill too.
Although I think
Not salty.
your passive has also become what? Getting hit by Giannis ult.
So I think that's every hunter. Though.
Every hunter
Yeah.
probably. Your Tusky doesn't have good target.
Yeah, they're
or
not. Your
something.
Tuskies are useless. I don't get it. I
So you
don't
guys
get it.
agree, his Tuskies aren't great.
No, it's not me, guys.
It's the AI.
I swear. He was in range.
This is one from @MindAmber, all one word on Twitter. What tips would you give to an aspiring ADC main?
Don't.
Switch roles.
I was nervous when you said that.
Just kidding.
But
Yeah,
seriously.
they have to play ADC. They want to climb ranked. What tips do you have for them?
Q with a jungler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly, queue with anyone except for a solo laner, and just make plays with them and make them camp your side of the map. Because solo queuing and ranked, especially if you're streaming, is awful. And I would just recommend don't solo queue ranked. So just find a buddy to queue with,
Sure.
and go to Reddit for builds apparently.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Just one more thing. In all seriousness, just focus on farming. Don't try to fight as an ADC, especially in range. Just farm and then carry late game.
But then we talked about pet peeves earlier. Your support wants to fight. You don't want to fight.
Let them die.
Just
You get
die.
solo
Just
farm.
type in
You
chat.
get solo farm when
Type
they
in
die.
chat, don't int my lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Only for I was gonna say.
Don't give first blood to the ADC. That's all. Give it to the support. I don't
Right.
care.
You'd think more supports would be down with that. They don't have to do just sit and farm and soak up all the farm with me and then go do your thing. You'd think that'd be a little bit more popular, but maybe not. Same person @MindAmber on Twitter. What is your favorite hunter ability?
Chernobyl.
Ramon.
Mine is Hachiman Dash.
Ooh.
Well, I love that
Good
ability.
one.
There's a lot to choose from.
I like Neath one. So
Yeah.
I can hit all.
What?
I can Neath one. You can hit all. Neath
Out
one
of
feels.
all.
Neath
Wait,
one
that
feels
long
clean.
for Neath one?
I was just going through every hunter.
He went through every option.
Neath one
Neath?
feels clean.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
dude.
it does.
Awful. It's like Cupid Heart Bomb, just unhittable. Can't hit it.
Is Cupid Heart Bomb unhittable?
It is for me.
It's tough to hit.
I can't hit Cupid Heart Bomb.
It's tough to hit. It's tough to freehand for sure.
Sure.
I think Chernobyl Dash is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually true. I may change my answer.
I think so. It's a big swing. Somebody, I don't remember who it was. Actually, might have been one of the people on the caster team. Said that churn dash is the strongest non-ult ability in the game. Do we think that holds some water?
It's definitely up there.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's
There's some other gods who have really broken abilities.
I'll say Heim 3.
Yeah, Heim 3 is insane.
Kryptos is new 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a really good pivot, and that's why I'm jumping in here. At Mega Femurs, big old Femurs on Twitter asks, initial thoughts on Kryptos. What do we think? We think Kryptos is going to be day one play?
I
Or?
guess I'll go first. I kind of think she's similar to Danza, where she can be good, but I also think she can get owned pretty hard, especially if you get camped. So I just think she's that. And she also doesn't have a stim, really. The one is not really a stim. It's
Right.
just like, and her auto attack chain is really bad for 1v1s. So I feel like you can get bullied pretty hard, and all her abilities are close range, so you get outpoked by other hunters easily. So I think she'll be like Danza, maybe a little worse than Danza, personally.
Anyone else have different rankings on Kryptos?
I think I got 2. Is it a 2? Maybe it's a 3.
The wide.
The fucking the wide one. I
Yeah,
feel like that
yeah,
ability
it's
is
a two.
broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good ability.
Oh, I
But other than
thought
that-
dog water, bro.
Well, it's like 40% proc rate.
No,
It's like it takes so long to go off.
Yeah, it takes so long.
I've not
like,
played that just from reading it.
It takes like almost a second to fully charge.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Like,
Maybe not then.
In an actual like fight scenario, you feel like why even press the button? It's like when you first played Dan's and you press the 2 in a fight situation, and you're like,
I just feel like if you use that ability, you're already too close to the front line. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you're kind of putting yourself in a weird spot.
the 3 is very strong. The 1 feels like, and then the ult's like, I think it's the same as Still ult, where like you use it to either escape or like one shot someone. Like there's a hard like middle ground there to find.
Doesn't even feel like a one shot. Yeah. It does like half someone's health. That's it. I'm
It
like,
feels so weird to use.
So it's a resounding maybe on
Yeah.
Kryptos is what I'm getting.
I would say like if you want tiers, I would say B.
But I've not played this, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like she's just worse than Danza because
Yeah.
her early game is just bad.
right. We haven't seen a lot of Danza, so maybe not a lot of Kryptos either. I know that Cyclonespin's got a lot, and this can be. Don't reveal any SPL strats. At Sam _ EHA, I guess, _ says, spicy picks for ADC outside of the hunter category.
Oh, I'm out.
I'm
out.
He's a hunter only guy.
Yeah.
Morgan.
I
Cyclonespin?
feel like this is Cyclone's domain.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
your area.
I don't know, dude. I just play whatever I feel.
Is there a limit to what can work as a, obviously, of course, yes, but like in reality, what do you think that limit is of what you can pick as an ADC in the
As long as they have enough, like, objective damage, and they can actually do damage to tanks or anything late game. Like, you can't like pick a warrior and expect, wow, this could be my ADC replacement. When you do nothing to objectives, you don't kill anybody late game. Like, as long as you're irrelevant, like, you technically can play whatever.
Yeah.
About
I mean,
you three over here?
I mean, like some ADCs I think are playable. I think like Soul and Chronos can be played if you have like a comp, like a physical mid or something like that. I think some mages could be played in duo lane as long as they have really good clear, like Morrigan, for instance. You can even play Raijin in duo if you wanted to. Kind of because Raijin's just good. Right?
Can you vote?
I can play mid.
That's right.
But yeah, like gods like that. But the problem with playing mages in duo now is that like pressure's kind of king in duo, and they can't really they have low HP pools, and but I guess with Shroud you can. Maybe you can.
You could with Crush Vamp Shadow,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, you probably could. Maybe we need to do more experimenting.
Yeah, that's right. 'Cause we talked
All
about
right,
this.
all week, we'll just play mages.
Yeah, we're playing each other a lot this week, I think.
Look,
It's
you
great.
guys could just unionize as hunters and say,
I mean, we have BaRRA.
we
It's
are
not
only
it's not possible.
only playing this. Gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's agreement would be let BaRRA play Soul and everyone else can play Mage.
True. I'm down for that.
You could argue Soul is kind of a mage.
The way he
I
built.
builder mage. So
There you go.
Power combo.
Yeah.
So I think that works,
The
right?
only way to play with guns.
Has this happened? Are we doing it? Just kidding. I'm not doing that.
I'm down.
Netrioid, do you have any kind of spicy? If you queue up, you get Hunter, you don't feel like playing an ADC. What are you locking in?
Morrigan.
Morrigan?
Oh, yeah.
Morgan's a dope character.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, maybe more
Or
Morgan
Melon.
ADC in the
It's
future.
because you can turn into an ADC.
Yeah. Or
Just turn into the other person. Man, I really wanted Artemis this game, but they picked her. I'm just going to play Morgan and then Artemis and team
There
fights.
you go.
There you go. Makes the most sense. Production didn't cue me for this one, but I want to ask, do you guys know where you can get your jerseys? I think it's shop.smiteproleague.com.
You can get mine from Shinto's house.
Oh, they were on it. Shop.smiteproleague.com for all of these incredible jerseys that we got here. Not Shinto's house, though. Because that's also, although we talked about this when the Leviathans came in. Who's he live with? Is it the whole squad
the
minus
whole,
you?
Yeah, it's the whole squad.
Yeah, so we're sending them not only to Shinto's place, but everyone else's place as well. So sorry, rest of the Leviathans. People are going to be coming looking for your jerseys. That was Roll Q&A with all of the hunters. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We look forward to hearing more from these hunters in the future. And make sure that everyone on stream sticks around. We got the Zap versus BaRRA 1v1, the storied